Good evening and welcome to Night Callers Bigfoot Radio, where I interview experiencers and researchers of the unknown. This is a live show, so I invite you all to join in the discussion by typing questions in all caps in the chat, and I promise I'll do my very best to get to each and every one. So keep it clean, keep it kind, and show some love with a like and subscribe. Here we go. Tonight we have our guest Ryan White. He is also known as Squatch Ranger. He is a member of the NOBRO group. I'm going to let him come on and tell us all about that. Again, if you have a question for the guest, please type it in all caps in the chat. Hi, Ryan. Welcome to Night Callers Bigfoot Radio. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing very, very well. Thank you for inviting me on your show.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for joining me. I know I had Evans Bailey on last time, so he hyped you up the entire show, so I felt like it was only right to have you on to, speak for yourself and tell us all the things that he got right.
He's a nice guy. That's very friendly of him. Hopefully, I'm going to not repeat a lot of things that he said on that show, and I can hopefully provide some. But we'll kind of touch on some of the same stuff that he talked about as well.
Oh, of course, you're just going to give your perspective. That's completely fine. So I know that we kind of have a few things that we want to touch on tonight. Why don't you tell me a little bit about how you got into this topic?
Yeah, so I'm from Northwest Oklahoma. So if you've never driven through a Northwest Oklahoma, I'll try to paint a picture for you. It's very flat. Wheat fields, as far as that's what I was growing up. Bigfoot's not really a popular subject there. As a matter of fact, I found out later in life that if you, going back to my hometown, talking about Bigfoot, it's just kind of, I don't know, a good word might be, well, it's not a good word, but silly, or they just don't believe you. It's just kind of laugh at you because it's flat. There's not there is forest, but they're along the creeks and rivers. But anyway, that's something else. Anyway, it's just flat. It's wheat fields. People think you're silly. They don't talk about Bigfoot. It's kind of weird. But if you go to other parts of the state, northeast Oklahoma, where I'm at now, southeast, and you've probably noticed this too. People are willing to talk about it. So anyway, I'm from Northwest Oklahoma, and around 15 years old, I was channel surfing across the Discovery Channel. It was Sasquatch Legend Meets Science. It was on the Discovery Channel. I was just clicking. In the 90s, you had to click the remote. And so anyway, I came on that. Whoa, what is this? I always liked mysterious stuff. Sasquatch, they showed Dr. Meldrum's tracks collection, and just immediately open-minded about it. I was like, okay, I really think there's something here. Like I'm into this. This is cool. And then Jimmy Chilcutt, he's an FBI fingerprint expert. He was on that program, and he gets on there and says, I'm going to stake my reputation on my findings. And he said he studied Dr. Meldrum's casts and the what are they called? The up and down, I'm losing my word here. But anyway, yes, thank you. The dermal ridges.
Got you. I got you.
He was looking at the dermal ridges. Yes, he was looking. This is legitimate, and him being his background in FBI, I was, as a 15-year-old boy. Now you got me hooked. So ever since I've watched that, I've just kind of been into it. Then growing up in college, I kind of forgot about Bigfoot. Went to college, got married, and then it comes down for Halloween. We were going to dress up, and she's like, "Hey, you want me to buy this?" Because I've talked about Bigfoot a few times, and she knew I kind of liked it. So I was like, "Yeah, I want to dress up as Bigfoot. Yeah, please buy that." He buys me the Bigfoot costume, and we were a group of people that Halloween. We went to a group, and the entire evening, me dressed up as Bigfoot, people just wanted to come up and take their picture with me, and I was always like almost the center of attention everywhere we went. And I just had so much fun as a grown man. I think that was the most fun Halloween I've ever had in my life, even better than as a kid. But anyway, it was so much fun. So the Squatch Ranger thing, what's that?
I said, I think that's amazing. Like, that sounds like a good time.
Yeah, thank you. So
as an adult.
Yeah, it was really fun. So that kind of me having the costume that transitioned into me becoming the Squatch Ranger, which is it was just a thing where I would go put on the costume, kids' birthday parties, warm, and that kind of thing. So I've done all kinds of events as the Squatch Ranger, dressed up as the Bigfoot mascot. And I'll say this also. So as the Squatch Ranger, I've done like I said, birthday parties. Like a teenager was having like a bonfire type party at night, and they invited me to come out and kind of scare the kids around the campfire. So I went and did that. I've done a bachelorette party. I've been in like two different parades, three parades. I've somebody hired me Bigfoot to go to Oktoberfest and be Bigfoot with this big group walking around Oktoberfest. Mm-hmm. And so it's been a lot of fun. I don't do it as much anymore. I just haven't had the opportunities as much anymore, but I still will dress up in the costume and everything. But I've also, from the beginning and now, I kind of worry that people might not take me as serious because I'm dressing up as Bigfoot, and I'm also wanting to be a Bigfoot researcher. So it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I worry that people won't take me seriously because I'm dressing up as Bigfoot, but I do like to do serious research as well. So I just hope people know that about me and will learn that about me. I did connect with somebody on like Facebook one time that had a Bigfoot page, and she was wanting to collaborate and do some things. I was like, okay, cool. And I gave her my website, which is the Squatch Ranger, and shows how like I dress up as Bigfoot. And that kind of turned her off, and she didn't want to collaborate anymore. So ever since then, I've worried about it even more. But hopefully people that do like go out with me and research with me, and they'll kind of learn that I do take it seriously, and I'm not just a big silly guy that just wants to be Bigfoot all the time in the costume. So
no, I think a way to spin that in a more positive light to where they understand where you're coming from is you do this for promotional reasons. So if you do this at an event, you're going to get more people wanting to go to that event, and more people are then going to come learn about your research. And so, right. I mean, I think you have a very altruistic reason. It's some people assume. I've learned that people like to assume, but they don't like to actually find out from the person they're assuming about what their reason behind it is. So that's fine. That's a them thing. I think it's amazing that you do all those things and that you get people interested in the topic, because that's what matters.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And I'm looking at the slides here, and there's the picture of me beside Dr. Meldrum. And so that was my very first Honubby Bigfoot conference in 2015. That's the very first time I met Troy Hudson, who helps and is kind of affiliated with the conference. Anyway, I was there, and I took several breaks because when you do wear the costume, you do get hot and sweaty under there. And so I was kind of backstage or in the kitchen area, taking a water break, kind of hanging out. And I happened to see Dr. Meldrum walk by in the hallway going to the restroom. And so I waited. I was like, oh, there's Dr. And I'd never been around anybody as of yet because I was kind of guarded. And I was like, oh, man, I got to catch him when he comes out of the bathroom. So, of course, he comes out of the bathroom, and I was probably like, he probably felt like I was attacking him. I was like, Dr. Meldrum, please take your picture with me. And he was really nice. Like, okay, I only have like a couple seconds, but he was really nice and took the picture with me. God. Before he went back in and did his speaking. It was probably his time slot, I think, but he was going to the restroom before he went and spoke. So anyway, he was nice enough to stop and take the picture with me. And that was just a really cool memory. And then you got the picture of me in the bathroom there, or coming out of the porta potties. I was just I thought that would be a silly pose. Just trying to be goofy and silly. That's pretty funny. And then I think it's the top center picture. That's Evans Bailey, your guest from the last time, and then Kurt Stanley, who started NCRP, the North Canadian River Project. That was an event that we were all at, and kind of took a picture with both of them, and that's kind of a special picture with me. But and then the bottom left, sorry, that's Tom Crabtree. He's also a member of our NOBRO group. So
Yeah.
I really enjoy Tom. He's a good guy.
I love that. We had a question, a very serious question from the chat.
Oh, okay.
From Pyromedic. He wants to know, was he the one that scared the little kids for life?
Was I the one that scared little kids for life? I don't think so. When I approach kids, I don't try to be scary at all, because I do know that kids can get scared. So I try to be the very, very friendly Bigfoot and kind of give them high five, or maybe blow a little kiss to a little girl or something. And I try to be a friendly Sasquatch. I don't try to scare them. Now, sometimes there's no way around it. A little kid will, like, the parent will be carrying their little kid up, like, look, you want to take your picture of Bigfoot, and they just automatically are scared. So, but I don't think I scared anybody for life. I don't think. I'm hoping not.
Well, I mean, it's understandable. It happens, right?
Yeah.
It happens. So that's how you got into the topic. There we go. Sorry about that. I know we wanted to cover quite a few other things. So do you want to get into how you linked up with NOBRO, and then tell me a little bit about that organization and what they do and who they are?
Sure. Yeah. So doing Bigfoot and going to the Honabi Bigfoot conference and being the mascot and all that, like I said before, I met Troy Hudson. He's one of the founding NOBRO, the Native Oklahoma Bigfoot Research Organization. So I got hooked up with him. One of his expeditions that he runs out of Honabi, he calls them so I went on a couple of those after my first conference. And of course, it's in southeast Oklahoma and Honabi. Saw some things, heard some vocals, just kept growing my interest. And so then I started thinking, all right, I want to somehow use my talents in this subject. What talents do I have? But I want to use what I know and somehow be helpful in this time. So anyway, I'm good at I just had to sit there and think, what am I good at? What can I help? And then one time Troy, I guess he thought I had a video. He said, hey, bring your video camera to one of the expeditions and film us. And I didn't have a video camera. I guess he thought I did. I don't know. But so I went out to Walmart and bought a video camera, and I've always been good at editing audio because I'm kind of a musician on the side. So I knew that was one of my talents, but so I can kind of help in some of the audio aspects of audio recordings. But then I brought that getting the camera, I got experience filming and that kind of thing. And so I started editing videos along with audio. And so then I was like, okay, this is how I can use my in this field. I can walk around and video, people researching and kind of highlight and showcase, the whole event or the whole expedition weekend or whatever. So I started doing that, and that's kind of how I got into it. So NOBRO, it started basically. We had some members that were members of the Choctaw, the Creek, and the Cherokee, and they were doing speaking events. And somebody finally said, "Hey, what's the name of your group?" Because they were going around doing speaking events about Bigfoot, and they said, "Well, we don't really have a name." So they came up with Native Oklahoma Bigfoot Research Organization. They definitely wanted the native side to it because a tribal perspective of researching Bigfoot, and and so that was very important to them when we're in Oklahoma. And so anyway, they formed the name. Then Troy kind of talked to me and recruited me, and I volunteered to kind of try to make a website and a database, a Bigfoot sightings database to put on the website. So I kind of volunteered that and got into it like that. And in NOBRO, what we've done is we've divided the state up into like 4 quadrants: the southeast, the southwest, the northeast, and the northwest. And we have members spread across the state that live in these different quadrants. And so we decided, okay, so what we need to do is, if someone actually calls in and it's in Northeast Oklahoma, let's get somebody that lives in Northeast Oklahoma to cover that or go interview them or that investigation. If it happens in Southwest Oklahoma, of course, we'll try to give that case to someone that lives in Southwest Oklahoma. Now, because of the way the map works, a lot of our Southwest people are actually around the Oklahoma City area, and the way that the counties work out on the map is we need to have a 5th quadrant, which is just central Oklahoma, just centered around Oklahoma City. But that's just not how we did it with the maps and the counties and how they formed. But anyway, and then so we divided up into 4 quadrants, and we sent investigators out if they live in those quadrants of the state. Then we don't have people, driving across the state, on a weekend and using up all that gas when somebody lives closer that could easily, go there and investigate. So I think that was a good way to approach it and go about doing it. And I think that's a good way to organize it. So anyway, that's kind of how we've started and kind of what we do. We speak at tribal events. We speak at library events. We've had libraries invite us to do a presentation for a community. Last summer, Evans and I, we wrote a kids program. And so like in the summer, the libraries have the summer reading program for kids. And so now I have a whole Bigfoot program centered for kids. So it's a kids program. So we can do the adults, we can do the kids, we cover it all. And so at our events, just to name a few, Oklahoma City Downtown Library at Paranormal Fest. We've done that for several years in a row, and we've been invited back this year. So we're trying to get our volunteers to lined up so we can go back to that. We've done programs around the Oklahoma City Metro at all kinds of libraries. I can't even name them all. We've been to Choctaw. We've been to Ada. Last summer, we had a really cool event. It was a 21 and over event at the Oklahoma City Science Museum, and that was called Campted. And that was last summer, and I got to represent us and be the speaker. And their big, it was like a brand new facility, like a theater type or stage type thing where they do presentations for when they come in for field trip stuff. Anyway, I think it was just open for a couple weeks or so, and I got to go in there and do a presentation in there, and it's a really nice facility, and that was a lot of fun. And it was a twin over event. You get to walk around and see all the different booths and stuff, and I don't know if this is a family program, but there was alcohol being served at this 21 and over event, Camp Cryptid. So that was kind of neat. I did not partake because I was going to speak, and so I wanted to just be businesslike, so I didn't participate in any of that. But you could, so that was kind of cool. So no kids were allowed, so that was really neat. I think that's kind of the highlights of all the events that we've done.
Yeah, that sounds like summer camp for adults, and I am here for it.
Yeah,
1,000% here for it.
It was really fun. It was really neat. Hopefully they do something like that again. I don't know if they did it again this summer. I never heard, but hopefully they do it again in the future. It was really neat. I would recommend someone that likes cryptid type stuff to attend something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
so I know
they're on the left.
Oh, yeah.
I was just going to say the picture on the left. Yeah, that's me talking at one of the kids summer program. I don't know if you can see the slide behind me in that picture, but we had them read an audio book about Bigfoot. It was just a video off YouTube, but it was an actual library book, and it was for the kids. So that's kind of cool.
That's awesome. No, so I also do a program for the kiddos. I'm gonna bring this back up because it was being weird. I also do a program for the kiddos that's more tailored to getting them out and into nature and using Bigfoot to do so. So that's
Nice.
near and dear to my heart. So what are some of the topics that you guys cover whenever you guys do the speaking events? I know that, I'm going to go ahead and pop this up and cheat a little bit, but I know that each of you kind of has your thing that you cover. So
Yeah, so usually what we do, I usually get teamed up with Evans, and Evans and I do a lot of these library presentations. Then Troy, he'll do some presentations with Tim, and then also we'll have Mordecai will also presentations with Troy. Also, we kind of have two different teams that can travel around and do different things. Okay, I see that slide. Okay, I'll get into that. But I forgot to mention this when I was doing the the Oklahoma City Science Museum presentation. We double booked ourselves that night. We're so big time now that we double accident, and so we had the Camp Cryptid in Oklahoma City, and then we had a nice little coffee shop in Salisaw invited us back for a second year in a row to do a program in Salisaw. And so Evans ended up going to Salisaw, and I covered the Camp Cryptids in Oklahoma City. So we were doing two programs that we've branched out. We're so big that we can do more than one event a night. But anyway, so covering our programs, Evans usually starts out and he kind of gives the history of how we started, and he'll also talk about our evidence page. What we use is our website at these lectures that we give. A lot of people do PowerPoint presentations, and we just use our website. We just put that up on the screen, and we go to the different pages in the website, and we have an evidence page. And so we're trying to show people evidence that we've collected over the years that makes us think, this could be Bigfoot related. Now, we also point out to the audience, evidence doesn't equal proof, but it's evidence that we're adding up and we're filing it on our website, and we're trying to compile, all this evidence to prove our case. So anyway, he'll go through the evidence page. He'll talk about the 4 quadrants that I talked about earlier. He'll talk about that in the presentation, and how to contact the correct person to file a report to, because we're spread around the state. And then I usually talk about the database, and I go through and I just picked several different cases in the database. I like to pick the ones where the eyewitness actually provided a drawing. Mm-hmm. I like to show that to the audience. So I've gone through the whole database, and I picked my favorite ones where the witness actually agreed to try to draw the Bigfoot. And so that's what I kind of do in my presentation at the lectures, is I show those drawings, and then I kind of tell just a brief report about what happened in the encounter and all that kind of stuff. So and I tell the audience, you can't always, when there's a Bigfoot sighting, not everyone is an artist. Okay. So not everyone can draw what they saw or attempt to. And you can't always, that's one of the questions I usually, when I'm asking or interviewing someone, I'll say, hey, could you try to attempt to draw what you saw? And most of the time they're like, oh no, I can't, I'm not an artist, blah, blah. But every once in a while, somebody will say, yeah, I will try. And so that's just really cool. For me, I really like that, because on the internet, we got so much blob squatch type videos and pictures, and when they're trying to draw it, there's no blob squatch about it. You're seeing what they saw through their hand, what they drew. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, no, I love that. So I know that we have the Audacity crash course here popped up on the
Yes.
screen. So I know that you have probably a full presentation on that, but can you share, like, what's your favorite tip that you would give to somebody when they're using Audacity to analyze audio from whatever
Yeah, sure.
they've collected?
Yeah, so something that's really neat about our group, our organization, NOBRO, is that we actually try to have a training at least once a year where we get as many members that can come in for a weekend, and we go through several different classes, and we have some of our senior investigators lead a class in different areas. And so one of the classes I've done in the past is like sound recording, and then an Audacity crash course, like it says right there on the slide. And so I'll have a slideshow presentation about different recorders you can buy. Like if, I kind of break it down into your financial bracket of what you're willing to spend on a recorder. I kind of have a low end, a medium, and a high. If you really want to spend some high dollars, I've give some recommendations. But to be honest, really for Bigfoot recording, for audio recording, for what we're doing, you can just get a cheap one, just a simple one. Keep it simple. It doesn't need to have all the fancy buttons and stuff. You're just recording audio, and then you take it back to your computer and you edit in Audacity. But a trick that I'll recommend is when you're placing your recorders, like if it's a camp out setting, if you're camping out for the weekend, okay, a definite tip that you want to do with that is don't set your recorder very close to where you're camping. I wouldn't. I mean, sometimes you could maybe catch something, but most of the time you're just going to get your group talking around the campfire for the whole night. So I would try to expand it more further away. Now, when everyone goes to sleep, you want to hear stuff around the camp, maybe walking around, and that's good. So I would just say, like, start your recorder later after you're going to bed, because you're just going to have, hours of talking around the campfire. But when everyone's like, okay, it's time to crash, maybe then go out and, if it's not like 50 yards away, run over there and start your recorder. So that's one tip. Another one is try to stay away from, if you're near a river or a stream, depending on how fast the water's moving, I would not put your recorder close to a river or a stream, because you're going to get that washing, that river sound. And so then you're not hearing far away sounds. It's just the subject has to be close to the recorder. So I would try to avoid staying away from rivers or streams that have a good flow to them. So those are just a couple of recording tricks. Audacity, yeah, so there's so many little tricks, and everybody goes about a different way. One time we had a training where I talked about Audacity for a little bit, and then we had Brian Terrell turn around and give a presentation on Audacity. So we kind of dipped on the same things, and then also we both kind of showed what we do and how it can be. You can do it different, do the same thing differently, and that was kind of neat, learning to do it a different way. He did some things that's not the way I do it, but you can still get the job done. So that's really cool. So anyway, using Audacity, it's just a great tool. It can do so many things, and it's a free download. So if there's anybody out there that's wanting to get into sound recording, audio recording for Bigfoot, Audacity's free. It does anything or more than your sound software that you buy. I've bought a sound software before a long time ago, because I do music on the side, and Audacity's doing just as much and more things than the sound software that I purchased. And so this is free, so I definitely recommend it. But tips on Audacity, if there's something that you don't know, probably a YouTube search. There's going to be some good stuff on YouTube to show you how to do it in Audacity.
I'm back to the tips and tricks. I learned the hard way not to put my recorder near my person when I was going to bed. I was sleeping in a hammock, and I thought, I'm in a hammock, so I'm going to put it in my boot under my hammock. All night, just rustling in my sleeping bag.
Oh, yeah,
awful. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, just lots of tips and tricks. Those are really great tips. And then Audacity, I mean, it's kind of a booger to me. Like, it's very intimidating, but like you said, in YouTube we trust. Do you have anything like that on your YouTube channel, on the Squatch Ranger channel, where you share tips and tricks like that?
So I actually do have a video that I made for the course that I taught, and it's on a private link on YouTube because we want people to actually go to the course, and people that are NOBRO and people outside of NOBRO not see it. So I do have a private video that shows some stuff, but no, I don't have anything public. That's a good idea. Maybe you just gave me a great idea. I need to do a couple of short little videos and put it on my YouTube channel. I will seriously consider that. But no, I don't.
Okay. Well, I mean, just little tips and tricks, they go a long way. And then I had a question about your YouTube channel. What prompted you to start your YouTube channel?
Yeah, so going back to Troy saying, bring the camera, come record for a weekend. Well, actually, back up. I already had the YouTube channel before he said that. So yeah, I went to a birthday party and performed at a birthday party as the Bigfoot mascot, and it was actually for my nephew, and it was just a lot of fun, and it seemed like it went really well. And so I got to thinking, you know what, I could try to charge people and do people outside my family and go perform and be Bigfoot. So I put together a little slideshow commercial of me at my nephew's birthday party, and I think that's the very first video on my YouTube channel. It is of my nephew's birthday party, and so I was trying to do little commercials, promotional things like, hey, if your kid wants to do a Bigfoot themed birthday party, call me. I'll come take care of you. I'll help you out. And not a month or two later, somebody in Claremore reached out, and I did a birthday party in Claremore, and then I did a birthday party in Keystone Lake one summer. And so that kind of is how I started the YouTube channel, is just for the Bigfoot mascot thing. But then it expanded into, I'm going to expeditions. I'm actually researching. I'm documenting like the expedition and our findings and what we're doing and how we're approaching it and all that kind of stuff. And so it evolved into what the channel is now. And that's, I got into NOBRO, and I'm documenting all of our NOBRO expeditions. And I'm trying to make it kind of a documentary style video that's informative, and it shows what we're doing and our researching. So.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've been looking to turn mine into that, and I just can't seem to make it happen. It's
You'll get it.
The whole vlogging part is sticking for me, because the only thing, vlogging is weird. Vlogging is weird. To me, I found that it's like when you first start to pray, you feel like you're just talking to nobody and you don't know if anybody's listening. It gets easier the more you do it, but it's weird, and you still hope nobody sees you doing it. It's a very weird dynamic, which I've mentioned on this channel before. It's weird to learn how to vlog.
Yeah.
Okay, so
also,
yeah, and then you branched out into TikTok. I'm very proud of you.
Thanks.
Very proud.
Yeah, I just thought, hey, I'm going to try TikTok. I'll see how many views I can get on TikTok versus YouTube. And so I do short. I don't do full videos on TikTok. Just do short. I'll take like a YouTube video off my channel. I'll try to find like an interesting part, interesting piece, and I'll like do maybe a 2-minute video and put it on TikTok and just different things. And I'm just trying to see if I can get some views and stuff and people interested and people to reach out to me and meet new people and new Bigfooters. So yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I'm pretty proud of you. I launched TikTok. I think Jeremiah Byron of Bigfoot Society podcast over there. He's a dear friend of mine, and he talked me into launching TikTok back 2020, 2021. Yeah. I think I posted like 4 videos, and I was like, this is awful. I was like, this is terrible. So I've begun resubmitting videos to the TikTok.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, over the weekend on TikTok, speaking of that, I've added some different videos that I've never done. I've taken AI, because AI is everywhere now. Mm-hmm. And what I did was I took the Falk monster, I took the Honey Island monster, I took just a North American Sasquatch, I took the Ohio Grassman, the Virginia Wood Booger, the Beast of Whitehall up into New York, and I put in the descriptions of those different ones, and I said, generate me a video, and then I tried to make it kind of into a 360 wind around of those different creatures. And so I have like a whole series, I guess, on TikTok right now of just kind of a wind around, almost a 360 view of what those creatures look like, just AI generated. So I've been having some fun with that. Somebody on TikTok said, you need to publish a book of these pictures. And I thought that was cool, but I'm like, well, AI did it, so I don't think I'm going to publish a book, but that was
I mean, yeah. That'd be pretty cool to have, even if you don't sell the book, but if you publish a book to have at your table at events to just kind of refer to, is this what you saw? Is this like what you saw? That might be, might be kind of cool too. Or postcards. I don't know. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about, not that, this. Let's talk about your research.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see the slide, but it is one of the tracks from Stitchcomb.
Yes. Okay. So what I'm going to say about this, I told you this will probably be the meat of the show. So I think it was, let me look at my notes here, make sure I get it right. It was April 13th, 2019. So what happened was the NCRP, the North Canadian River Project, we wanted to go on a kayak cruise through Stinchcomb on the river, and we're going to do it on a Saturday, and we had been talking in our little Facebook group all week. Okay, yeah, we're so excited about this kayak cruise. We're all going to get in kayaks and go up the river and try to do some research from the river based off of a Finding Bigfoot episode when a witness saw a Bigfoot on the bank as they were kayaking at night. Him and his wife saw one. His name was Jim McDonald. He's actually a part of our NCRP group. Anyway, so we were going to kayak. Well, it rained like all week that week, and it was even raining on that Saturday. So some of us still wanted to do something. We're like, we can't kayak, so we're like, okay, let's just hike. Let's just do a hike through Stinchcomb. So the go-getters that actually wanted to show up in the rain, because it was raining the entire time we were there. We had 3 people show up: me, Evans, and then a nice lady named Jody. Our cars were the only cars in the parking lot that day. Nobody was hiking. Nobody was doing anything. It was raining. Okay. So we're hiking through Stinchcomb, and we start seeing these tracks like this one right here. And, we're like, oh my gosh, look at definition. Look at the depth of how it pressed in. Like at Evans in one of the videos, Evans gets next to one, and it was raining right then, and he's trying to press his foot in next to it. Can't get an impression anywhere near. It didn't even show up like those were. So I'm gonna guess that, and this was right and left feet with toes. Excuse my grammar there. So right and left feet with toes. I'm going to guess it was somewhere between a quarter of a mile to a half a mile long of just right and left. I mean, and what was crazy about it was this was like 40 degrees.
It's raining pretty hard.
Raining, and it had been raining all week, like I said. It's been cool. It was in April, but it was cold. Like you can see Evans right there is all bundled up in that picture. It was cold. So someone to walk in like a cold rain for that far barefoot to me. At first I really thought it was some kind of people or like an older teenage kid or something. But after we found him going that far, I just was like, I don't know. There's something to this. And also, we were hiking in, and the tracks were going against us. So they actually started at the very north end of the park, and we're coming southward, winding around on the perimeter road towards the parking lot. The tracks did not go all the way to the park. There is a graphic that I made that shows on the maps in the park and how they kind of ended around and where we stopped seeing them.
Okay,
I don't know if you can pull that graphic up that I was talking about, but yeah, there's a good track just right and left, all that toe definition. And looking back on it, like when I was kind of compiling the videos for the show, I mean, I think we did a decent job of documenting it, but we probably should have like tried to find the very, very and almost recorded every single track, which would be really hard and difficult, but I mean, it can be done. But we should have tried to record every single, just with the camera on them, measuring it, and it was around 10.5 to 11 inches long. We didn't measure the width, so that was kind of a rookie mistake. We should have measured the width as well, but we got the length. It was around 10, very big, but I mean, maybe it's a juvenile Sasquatch messing around. But this was probably, for me, this was the best day of Bigfooting ever. That, from my experience, this was the most fun, and like we had the most evidence and stuff. It was just amazing. We even had a wood knock that day as well. As we were leaving the park, I actually towards the back, I did a wood knock, and then we're like walking 15 minutes towards the parking lot. We're leaving about 15 minutes after I'd done that first wood knock. We hear a wood knock, so we stop, and we're like, whoa. And so then I did another back, and it did reply. So we're thinking, okay, our cars are the only vehicles in the parking lot. There's just almost no way that this human person, I mean, just nobody was there, and it was raining. We were the only three brave enough to go out there that day and walk and be in the rain and want to do it. Nobody wants to go walk dogs or go hiking when it's raining. So it's pretty possible that wasn't. So that was kind of cool. It was kind of like letting everybody know, hey, they're headed towards the parking lot. They're making their way out. Okay, there's the graphic that kind of shows where the tracks kind of started, the first tracks that we saw, and how they were kind of moving southward on the perimeter road around. And like I said, I don't know how far that was. I'd have to get on Google Maps and kind of measure it. I've never done that. But, I mean, I would say it's between a quarter to a half a mile. That was a lot of tracks. So, just a very interesting day, a very fun day. But what I was going to say was 2 days we were there, there was an actual Bigfoot sighting in the park 2 days after we were there. And it was a dog walk. It was on the BFRO website. It's file number 69006. Okay, so somebody was walking their dog, I think around sunset, and they got to the back part of and there's a power line cut where the power lines go through there, which is at least a mile back. and that's where they across the river on the other side. He says he was a Bigfoot, and so this is after we found the tracks, and I didn't know about it, and I see, oh, there's a Stinchcombe site, and so 2 years later I look and it's April. It was April 15th. So that's when he said he saw the creature, April 15th. We were there 13th. So, I mean, is that related? I don't know. I mean, could be. Pretty interesting. We found tracks. 2 days later, someone sees one in the power line cut. That's, I mean, coincidence? Yeah, definitely could be, but
Evans,
I'm thinking that this could be related. So that was a really fun day. And Jody in our group, there's a video. Are you having trouble pulling videos and getting them to play? Yeah, so on one of the videos, Jody is against. Oh, they are? Okay. Okay, well,
there we go. I think
well, anyway, one of those, Jody's striding with the tracks, and she's showing that, hey, this I'm having a church out. Okay, that's fine. So anyway, her point was, I think she said she was 5'9" on the video. I can't remember, and she's saying I'm having trouble stretching out. This is like an unnatural foot stretch for me, and her foot was similar in size to the tracks. So just interesting. Add the Bigfoot sighting to it 2 days there. So, and I'm noticing in the chat, there's a day that's my son. So he's not a troll or anything. That's just son who's 8. He's invited them on the show. He's in the next room. I said he could watch. So he's watching on his iPad. So anyway, he's not a troll. Okay. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Good. No, I appreciate you letting me know. I think it's adorable. I was a little bit confused. I actually, while you were talking, I know this is going to sound rude, but I promise I was paying attention. I actually texted my mom and said, hey, is one of the boys in my chat? Because your son he's typing exactly like my kids, and they would have that same tag and picture. And I was like, one of the kids is in there and talking on it, until he said Ryan is my dad. And I was like, oh, that's not my kid.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
Perfectly fine. We are child friendly.
That's hilarious.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Ranger Jude.
That's my son. He's excited that I'll show. He actually a little bit of the episode with Evans, and he thought it was really neat. So he thought it was cool that I was coming on the same show. So anyway, he's excited. So sorry about the comments.
I love that. Well, oh, you're good. You're good. Like I said, I keep a friendly chat. My mods know to. Really, I think we only bounce people if they cuss or if they hit on me in a rude way. Then they get bounced. So kids are welcome though.
Okay.
I have a question from the chat from Mr. Brian Terrell.
Yeah.
He said, ask Ryan what he's doing Friday night. I'm a little bit scared because it's coming from Brian, but if you feel like answering, go ahead.
We actually do have. Oh yeah, I will. So I don't think is it Friday? I thought it was Saturday. I'm gonna have to get my days straightened out here. I thought it was Saturday. I'll go back and look. But anyway, we do have a scheduled. I'm not gonna say where it is because I don't want someone in internet land to meet up where we're going to be and that kind of thing. But we do have an outing scheduled. I thought it was for Saturday 6th. It's supposed to be on the 26th. Is that Friday? I don't know. I think that's what he's because Brian is also going to, I think. And we're going to be doing some big gating. So that's what?
That is Saturday. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not sure why he's saying Friday. I don't have any plans Friday. Sorry, Brian.
Brian. There's no telling.
I'm sure he's got plans.
Sorry. Okay. hmm I'm sure it's Brian. He's Red Circle Scouting.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Can you see the slide that's up now?
Not yet. Yeah, I think I guess I have a delay.
So
Okay, there I
there's
see
a
the
little bit of
track.
a delay. It's okay. It's the
Yeah, I see.
BFRO report. If you want to start talking about that, and then it'll catch up eventually.
Okay, so the BFRO. So after I saw that happen 2 days later, so 2 years after it happened, I'm on the internet. I'm on BFRO website. I see that sighting happened 2 days after we were there. So I got all excited. I was like freaking out. So I wrote into the BFRO to the website, and I gave them an email breakdown of our. I even gave them a link to the video, and I said we found tracks there 2 days before this happened. I explained the whole thing, the whole situation to them. I explained that we actually on the video we actually went back to the power line cut where the witness saw the Bigfoot, and so I had a big write up, and I even have some time stamps written in there at the bottom. You can see noting that different things happened, and so I submitted it in to them, and I thought, well, I think the BFR is known for taking at least a couple weeks before they respond. Well, they responded to me, but 3 hours later, the same night after I submitted it in, that they put an update. Oh, look at this, and it was they added my email to the file reports. So I was like, oh wow, that was quick. They never reached out and wanted to talk to me for any further or anything like that, but they just tagged on my email to the file report. So that was kind of cool. So that's what that's about. So
I think that's crazy. They didn't talk to you about it at all, but they added it to their list.
am I on?
You'd think there would be at least a follow up. Hey, thank you. You know.
Uh-oh, did I get kicked out?
No, you're here, but it's there was a little glitch there where I couldn't. Your mouth was moving, but no sound was coming out. So you should still be here. It's that time of night. I guess all the kids are on the Wi-Fi elsewhere.
Yeah, nothing. So I'm not sure, but I'm happy to have it on the website for someone, you know. Okay.
You're good. Go ahead.
Yes, probably so.
Okay. Next up would be the tree structure. If you want to tell me about that, I know the lag is it's killing me tonight. There's a struggle.
I finished. I don't know what you heard and what you didn't hear, but I had a report. No, that's okay. Yeah, so just on that same day, we found that tree structure, and we thought it was interesting about kind of the A-frame or the teepee one. It was big enough to walk in there and stand there. We were trying to theorize what it was for. It was kind of off of a trail, so we thought maybe it was kind of a hunting blind type thing where it would hide in there, and maybe if a deer came across the trail or something, they'd easily grab it or something, or whatever they're hunting for. But you do have to be careful in Stinchcomb, because at one point in time there was some people going out there when Survivor Man was on airwaves on TV, and I think there was people going out there and kind of playing and building structures and that kind of thing. So you do have to be careful in Stinchcomb. Don't think that every is Bigfoot, but interesting. So I do know there's like on Google Maps there's like called Bigfoot something or other. If you zoom Stinchcomb, there's like a Bigfoot. I can't remember what they call it, but I think it's like someone went in there and made some kind of structure, and it was people. A Bigfoot's hideout or whatever. I don't know. You can get on Google Maps and kind of zoom in, and so you do have to be careful in Stinch. The point I'm trying to make, but we always try to very carefully. If it had been put in place by something or someone, it didn't like land there from weather. Like it was actually intelligently put there or designed to go in. So we're always looking for those kind of things. It was an interesting structure. We found other interesting structures besides that one. So they're definitely Stinchcomb.
No, that's something I think everybody should do. Don't automatically assume it's Bigfoot. Figure out if there's any other possible way that it could have happened other than Bigfoot doing it. Bigfoot should be your absolute, either you saw it doing it or there's no other reason for it. Yeah.
I agree. I think there was another picture of me.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think there was another picture of me and Evans, and we're like standing beside like a cardboard cutout or thing of Bigfoot. I don't know if you still have that or not. But I was going to say on the day that we found the tracks, I don't know if you're familiar with geocaching. I don't know if you've ever heard of geocaching, but geocaching for the audience is just like a online, basically scavenger hunt. And so on the website, it gives you like coordinates to go find these little boxes filled with little prizes or something. And so before we went on this hike, I found an actual geocache with a Bigfoot theme in Stinchcomb. And so I put the coordinates in my GPS, and we walked to it. We had to do some whacking to get back there where it was. But we finally found it, and there's this big, huge 7-8 foot wooden cutout of a Bigfoot. There was a geocache. What you do is there's a logbook in it and your geocache name, and proving that you actually were there and found it, and you just put it back in the and hide it back the way it was hidden. So a neat addition to our house before we found the tracks. So it was just a really, really great day.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've heard of geocaching. I've never partaken in it. So I think that's awesome. You guys were able to accidentally combine the two. That's very cool. I think that would get a lot more people probably out in the woods also. You know, if you used Bigfoot and geocaching to make that happen together, that'd be really cool. All right, let's see if we can. There we go. Okay. All right. So I had a couple questions from the chat. Jason Battenfield wanted to know, what kind of microphone do you use to record with? Do you use an external mic, or do you use just your audio recorder?
Kind of what I was saying earlier. I don't I don't try to make it real sophisticated. I don't have an external mic. That'd be cool, but no, I just straight up the audio recorder. I think it does a decent job. I just don't have the budget to go out and buy gadgets and new microphones and stuff like that. So yeah, I try to keep it simple and just using the audio recorder. But you can definitely an external mic and get better results. When I was researching the class to speak on the Audacity and everything, I found a guy on YouTube that he actually goes out and he's recording nature sounds for movies or documentaries or whatever. So he's authentic sounds, and so he's using like fancy external mics and stuff like that. But for Bigfooting, what we're doing, we can get a sound far away just using your audio recorder. Just keep it simple at first, and as you like learn more about it, stuff like that, extra stuff.
Very cool. That's pretty awesome. Another question: has anyone in your group ever seen a tree twist which you could not explain?
A tree twist. I do know that time when we were at an area, we called Area 3, we found a tree twist that our group did that. We couldn't narrow it down to somebody in the group causing the tree twist. It's like, I don't know, 50, 75 yards. We were camping, and it was right off like the to get back into where we were camping. But this El Reno area and a place, yes, and I even took a picture, or I took video of it. So yes, that's the one that I can think off the top of my head. I can't think of any other tree twists, but it probably happened.
And then Pyromedic had a question. Besides Stinchcomb, about how many reports have been turned in this year? I'm guessing to NOBRO.
Okay. Oh man. So let's see here. I'm gonna say somewhere around, somewhere between 7 to 10 reports. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but back in the fall, Evans Bailey and Tom Crabtree did a library lecture in Choctaw Library, and people will come to our programs and they'll tell their story or tell us their report, and so they actually got a couple from that Choctaw Library, actually, and they actually had it was actually reported to police, and so they actually provided the call in to the dispatcher, and the dispatcher dispatched the police to a report of somebody thought they saw a Bigfoot in the park at Choctaw, and so that's actually on the Choctaw Police Facebook page. And so we actually have that in our data. Somebody brought that to our attention. Evans, that guy, I think it was to Ecuador. He was on a mission trip. He just got back. And he reported to us some people there, they got talking about Bigfoot. He took, on his mission trip, he actually got a couple of Bigfoot reports. One, their version of like the people, I can't remember what to call it off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
But it was basically almost the same thing that we described little people around here. That was neat. And then he also got a report from around Oklahoma, south, or where it was, central Oklahoma. This was somebody relay a story that a buddy, but we've logged those into our database as well. They found a track like a guard, and then maybe another. I can't remember what the report, so I'm not going to say, but we did get a couple of reports from there. I would say around 7 to 10 reports if I go back here. So that's a good question. But we're always open to get more.
That's a good one. Absolutely. I think that's pretty cool that the police ended up with that report. I always wondered how many they get a year and what they do with those, you know. I had, there was, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say every once investigator and lead investigator, he has a law enforcement background. So because of that, a lot of people in law enforcement contact him. They get a call, and so we've gotten a couple of reports from law enforcement. They kind of referred the people to us. So that's kind of a neat and a good connection. Hear what you were going to say.
I was going to say there was a police officer that I knew from the Oklahoma City area, I think Ponca City maybe, but he had experienced reports given to him, but he had his own experience in a park, in a city park, and there was a creek that ran through the park, and he had an experience with something that scared the daylights out of him, and so that's kind of how he got into it. And then any of the calls that were kind of weird, he would take them because same reason. So
yeah, that's
all
great.
Right. Well, I don't see any more.
That just adds authenticity when a police officer is saying, we got this report, we got this call, or a police officer, like you said, they saw something for me.
No, absolutely. I know there are quite a few first responders who have definitely chimed in on the Bigfoot phenomena. I don't know if anyone's ever actually rounded those up and just kind of done a series of first responders. I think that would be a really cool set of interviews to do. So
yeah, it's a great idea.
I have to see what we can do about that. Yeah. I have one last question, and then I'll let you go.
Okay.
From Pyromedic, of course. Any extra nighttime events scheduled for the Honobi event this year? Honobi event?
Okay, so I guess he's asking about the conference. Okay, so here's what I'm going to say about the conference. It's not called the Honobi Bigfoot Conference anymore. It's called Bigfoot at the 40. By a year ago, there was some confusion about whether the conference was happening or not. And I don't want to get too involved in discussion, but a lot of people were confused. They didn't think it was happening, but it was happening. It's basically the same conference, same venue, same location, just maybe a little bit different people running it type of thing. But yeah, so Bigfoot at the 40 will be this year. Extra nighttime events, I will say, is at sundown they do the thing, which is standard and normal. Everybody pretty much knows it. And that's the big draw. Is a lot of people want to come for the storytelling because everybody opens up. It's a safe tell your encounter story. I think more people will because it's just a safe place and everybody loves a way to come forward if you have a story. So there's that. After the storytelling, official time events that I know of, but I do know that people go off to, and they go down this road, and the researchers there, they all go off and kind of do their own thing. So I would just suggest if you're going there with somebody, or maybe you meet someone at the conference, ask them, hey, what are you guys doing tonight? And, group up with somebody and go find a road to go down and and research. It's an awesome area.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's beautiful, but do so safely. Don't jump in a stranger's car and disappear, please. Safety first. Just
Of course.
throwing that out there. Safety first, safety first. But it's a good event, and you can meet a lot of like-minded people there. They have a lot of different events within the event. They have, breakfast and lunch and lots of vendors, and they have, Indian tacos and all kinds of great food there. There's all kinds of great food trucks. So it's a good time. I definitely recommend it. And you can camp on premises. So you can do that if you're into, kind of festival camping situation, but for Bigfoot. So, and then there are a lot of kid-friendly things there. So there's face painting, there's bouncy houses, playground. There's a lot of kid-friendly things for you guys to bring the kiddos and go see some people talk about Bigfoot.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on tonight so much. If you guys have any other questions, definitely go to his TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, any of those, and you can drop those questions and he will answer them. I believe his email is also in the chat. And then if you have a report you would like to submit to NOBRO, you can do so. The information should also be in the caption. And then you can also follow them on Facebook as well. So thank you again for coming on tonight, Ryan. I very much appreciate you being here. I appreciate you working through the connectivity issues that seem to plague my shows here lately. And I hope you have a great time in Hawaii this year and get some more great research under your belt.
Thank you for having me. It was an honor being on your show. I had a lot of fun talking with you, and it's nice to meet you. And maybe we'll talk in the future. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. I'll see you at Hawaii.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. Thank you for tuning into the show. Drop a comment below. Let me know who you want to see next on Nightcrawler's Bigfoot Radio. And you guys know how it goes. Stay safe, be kind, and I'll see y'all next time.